true blue rough and tumble, so I'm gonna add my favorite cowboy hat. It's corduroy. I love this. Welcome to BJONESSTYLE TV and welcome to my kitchen slash my living room. Today we're going to chat all about what I'm calling the comfort zone. Now, this is BJONESSTYLE. This is always play dress up to the max, but I've been thinking a lot about just those moments of life that require more casual dressing, more comfort zone dressing, and also just those days where you just feel like I need to be so comfortable, practical maybe even, and just kind of in my skin. Do you know what I mean? Where you just feel like this is my comfort zone. This is where I feel just cozy without putting on just your sweats to watch TV. But I love a comfort zone moment. I love those off-duty opportunities to get dressed and maybe not go as full out as this, but still keep it interesting. The comfort zone is also that dressing up process where you really do have that quick 5 minutes to get dressed, and you are going into a situation maybe where you do just want to be really practical and casual. And I realized I kind of have some go-to formulas when I'm in that mode, when I'm in my comfort zone mode. And I've decided to give those formulas titles and aesthetics. So today we're actually going to break down, for me, what are my comfort zone aesthetics. I'm going to share with you each aesthetic and then also just some of the inspiration behind each one and key items that are in my closet that are the go back to all the time when I'm in the comfort zone, when I'm dressing up that aesthetic. And I do think there's a seasonal aspect to this because I think every season I have a different comfort zone aesthetic. So we're gonna dive into my winter comfort zone aesthetics. You know I love to come up with a quirky little title, and also I love to kind of create a character in my mind, so they definitely have some character-driven inspirations. Let's start with the first one, and I think there's definitely an element to 2 out of the 3 comfort zone aesthetics that borrow from the boys. I really take a lot of inspiration from menswear when I'm in my comfort zone, and so the first aesthetic is what I like to call on the docks. I think a little bit of maybe a New England sailor when I'm getting dressed in this aesthetic. And just to share some of the inspiration from this storyline of On the Docks, I look at Bode, which they do menswear, and actually they just launched women's wear, I think this spring 23 collection, but so much of what they're about is what I'm about. There's so much classic, timeless pieces in the mix. Definitely very menswear. I kind of even feel a little bit of that like grandpa vibe as well. There's tailored pants. I like how often there's a cropped element to the pant. So even if that's cuffing your pants or wearing more of a short length, I like then how you can kind of tease your sock out or your ankle and then show off the shoe that you're gonna wear with the look. Within these looks, I do see a lot of the loafer style, more of the Oxford shoe, just anything really that a sailor might wear on the weekend. I think a key element to a lot of these looks is the beanie, double flipped into more of that sailor style beanie. And I have been wearing this one all the time. It's navy. I tilt it off to the side a little bit. That's kind of my go-to. And I wear it all the time. And it just kind of is that little icing on the cake to these looks. I also notice jackets that are a little more kind of boxy and structured and maybe not as long. I like just kind of that almost square shape that you see with some of these, and then you can even do some layering there and see the different layers as you put your outfit on. I love just that cable knit cozy sweater with this look, thinking more of that fisherman style sweater. You know, and then if you want to add a button down underneath it, also mixing in corduroy can be really fun with a corduroy jacket or some corduroy pants. Just think cozy menswear on the docks. Sweater vest can also look really cute within this look and tucked in with some pants, and then just a really great classic leather belt cinching in your trouser pants. And I definitely think a key element too within this look is cardigans. And I think my go-to cardigans in the On the Docks aesthetic, they're more of that classic grandpa cardigan. There's a collar to them, maybe a roll neck collar, and then there's buttons down the front. It's maybe a little slouchy. You can kind of scrunch up the sleeves, and there's an extra coziness to the cardigan. So I think if there's a formula that adds up here, it's a great pair of classic trouser pants that are either cropped or rolled, a button-down shirt or a cozy sweater, and then there's a layer on top of that. So more of a boxy jacket, a cardigan, or even a blazer in the mix with this one as well. And then I think where you add the fun and the dash of spice to the outfit is by throwing in some interesting accessories. So when it comes to the On the Docks, I always go to a scarf, and I think you can kind of play up how you wear it, more of the handkerchief style scarf, you know, rolling it and tying it at the neck. You could also do a scarf with a bolo slip tie thing. I can't think of what they're called right now, but throwing like a bolo clasp around a scarf, I think that could be really cute. Almost think of borrowing from the boys and the Boy Scouts idea with that. The beanie is key here for me. It's just my go-to. And then you add on some great shoes. I would choose probably my Menswear brassy Doc Marten shoes, or I would go with my classic brown Doc Marten boots, and always a loafer is a good idea too. Another element that I'm really loving adding into this is suspenders. I found those suspenders with a net before the holiday season, and I've been really loving adding them to menswear pants to even just lift them higher at the waist, since they're not going to cinch in with the belt, but I throw those suspenders on and it kind of yanks up the pants and gives that great cropped length. So that's been a go-to accessory within this whole look. I do think if you want to kind of search in a category, if you're in a vintage shop or if you're looking online, searching some 50s menswear could be a really great way to find some of these elements. I feel like some of that kind of classic 50s knit and jackets, even kind of collegiate or school days sweaters could be really fun in this mix. And then, you know, looking for fisherman sweaters, cardigans, just all those kind of 1950s classics menswear. I think if there's patches involved, it makes it even more interesting. So that is my inspiration when it comes to the On the Docks aesthetic. And I'm gonna go into my closet and I'm gonna dress up something that is very formulaic when I'm in my comfort zone and I'm dressing up the On the Docks aesthetic. Key item number one is the sailor beanie. So I'm just gonna go ahead and get that out because I know the outfit is starting there. So this is the beanie. I think this might just be a men's beanie from Target. I like this kind of dome shape one, then it's easily folded over. I like to wear it on my head really tight and then off to the side a little bit. We've got our inspiration, and then just panning out to the key items. These are men's old structure pants. I've got suspenders and I've got the beanie. This is where we're going to start to build the On the Docks look. So as you can see, these are men's pants. They're bigger, but I'm going to use the suspenders to pull them up higher, and I love then how it creates this really cropped length. And I can add some socks and some menswear shoes. I added this Chicago Academy of the Fine Arts t-shirt, but this is the winter edition, so I'm gonna add this Argyle sweater. This feels very cozy, on the docks. Just what I'm looking for. But I like how the t-shirt kind of peeks out there. We're gonna hike up the pants, button them up, pull out the suspenders. Got the sweater tucked in, the suspenders holding up the pants, so it kind of creates that extra high waist, but not cinched in, more, you know, boxy, which is what I love. And then we've got this more cropped length. I'm going to switch up the socks. These are what I was wearing earlier. To me, these are perfect. They're more of a woolly, cozy sock. They feel like a fisherman's sweater, and then I can kind of scrunch them down. These are my go-tos when I'm in this aesthetic. I love these brassy Doc Martens. This is just a classic little kind of loafer style Oxford shoe. I love the little buckle there. And then my Doc Marten boots. I'm leaning towards this option, but these could also just be good too. We've got the Doc Marten boot and the Doc Marten shoe. Let's see. I really like both. Oh, this is gonna be hard. I'm gonna leave them both on and then decide what jacket or blazer I'm gonna use. For the layer, I'm choosing to put on this plaid blazer. I like this one because it has a little bit more of that boxy cropped shape, which I feel like gives that kind of sailor vibe. It's like everything's scrunched up, high and tight. I don't know, something kind of quirky and fun about it. Then I've got to add something at the neck, and this one's perfect. This is my little fisherman, actually has fish on it, scarf. If you've followed me for a really long time, I think I've had this for forever. It's been one of my go-tos for a really long time. So I love that tied at the neck right there with the fish on it. All right, gonna put the blazer back on. Key item, the sailor style beanie. I like to kind of put my hair a little bit behind my ears on one side or both sides, just depends on my mood. I also really like kind of having my hair tucked. I think it's a fun way to just show off everything. And to go back to the shoes, we've got this one, we've got the boot. I'm gonna go with this one. I like seeing the whole sock. This is the on the docks aesthetic from the bottom to the top. So this is just my way of being in my comfort zone, cozy, but still extra fun. The second comfort zone aesthetic is what I am calling down and dirty. And what I mean by that are these looks definitely have, a lot of them are very Western inspired, or there's an element of them that's kind of ready to take on the work. So there's maybe some utilitarian, army influence. So just more of what is down and dirty. And to break down some inspiration for that, I think there's a lot of elements to this that's similar to the on the docks look, borrowing from the boys again, but I think the difference is adding in some Western elements or some of those kind of army influence elements. So within the kind of adding the Western, I love just thinking of a classic pair of stiff denim, going full on denim. Maybe there's a vest involved, maybe there's a jacket on top of that. You could even add a cowboy hat if you're feeling in the mood. There's going to be handkerchiefs tied around the neck, but they're going to be more of the traditional ones that are worn by the cowboys. And I definitely feel like there's always a great classic Western leather belt in the mix, cinching in the pants tight at the waist. I love adding in some of those Western inspired jackets. So either they've got a great cowboy graphic on them, they've got some fringe on them, but they look rough and tough. They're not fancy and frilly. They're definitely worn by the boys in this. One of my classic pieces that lives in this aesthetic for me is my workwear plaid jacket that I found in the men's section at thrift store. It's plaid, it's got shearling on the collar, it's that great boxy shape, and I feel like you add that into your, comfort zone look and add just a great pair of classic army pants and a cowboy boot, and maybe tie a scarf around your neck and you're good to go. So for me, when it comes to key items within the down and dirty, definitely a pair of cowboy boots or Western boots. I have the Fry campus boots, which I found, literally, I think they're the oldest thing in my closet. They're probably 20 years old. And I found in the thrift store for $5. Who knew they'd become so popular now? But they're my go-to workwear Western boots. So that is a key item in this look. Also, I think having that great bandana, handkerchief, scarf, and I've got multiple colors that I can always play with. Add in there a Western belt, and you could go full on and have an amazing belt buckle, or just a really great brown leather belt to cinch in your waist. Army pants are a go-to within this aesthetic for me. I have a pair of army pants that I got at Pickwick actually last year. And literally when I don't know what to wear, or I'm just kind of not fully in the mood to just get all crazy gussied up, I pull out those army pants. They're like my best friend and they feel like a hug every time I wear them. In this mix, I would suggest having some great button-down shirts. I love the idea of having a button down, a turtleneck, or adding a handkerchief scarf, and then adding on kind of a Western jacket or a great classic denim jacket. They are always going to be an essential, always within any aesthetic, but definitely within the down and dirty. If you want to kind of branch outside just all the versatile separate pieces, you could go for a flight suit. I have an amazing one that I also got from Woven Folk Vintage, and that same kind of thing. It feels like a hug when you put it on, and you could cinch it in really tight. You could wear layers over top, you can wear layers underneath, but that is a key item within this category as well. We can't not mention a cowboy hat. I feel like having a great cowboy hat. Now I have a few, and I definitely have the very classic cowboy hat. I know that's not what everyone wants to wear, so I think even if you kind of have that more wide brim, slightly cowboy desert vibe type of hat, that's great too. But just having one of those great hats to throw on. So if there is a formula within this aesthetic, I think it's grab a pair of boots, put on a work pant if that's a great pair of denim or army pants for me, a leather belt at your waist, button down. For the winter edition, I would throw a turtleneck underneath, and then I might grab out my cowboy blazer that I love, and that's always fun. Or you could keep it simple and just throw on a denim jacket and top it off with a cowboy hat. And now we're gonna head into my dress up closet, and I'm gonna dress up something that's down and dirty. Just like with the On the Docks, when it comes to my down and dirty, I feel like my army pants are my go-to. So the whole outfit is definitely gonna revolve around those. So here's the army pants. I like mine to be a little bit bigger so that I can kind of really cinch them in and create more of that balloon shape. And to me, down and dirty just looks real good with a men's old vintage thermal. So we're gonna tuck this baby in, really cinch it up tight with a great leather belt. So cinched in tight. I even like to pull the pants up a little higher, creating a little bit of that like more balloony shape. And then I gotta put on the boots. Heading over to my boot section. These are my Campus Fry boots. Love these. Gotta slip these on. So I could wear them showing and over the pants with the pants really scrunched, or I could do this. Or I could even fold the pant. So that's the look scrunched. This is the look folded. Again, I think it's going to come down to what I end up doing up here. I'm liking this idea, which has a little bit of that outdoors Western feel to it, and I like the white on the white. Another layer. Seeing this, I'm seeing that I want my pants out and then cuffed. All right, so this is where we're at with the army pants. We've got the cardigan buttoned up here with the white thermal. We've got the classic jacket over top. And now I just need to add probably a neck scarf or something here. And then also I want to add a hat. Whenever I'm doing this, I love this scarf. It's cotton, it's bigger. I wanted to kind of switch it up and not just do, you know, what I would normally do, and I'm going to do it more cowboy style. I had to take everything off to put this on. I want to keep it true true blue rough and tumble. So I'm gonna add my favorite cowboy hat. It's corduroy. I love this. Down and dirty from the bottom to the top. Digging it. And the last and final go-to aesthetic is the 90s soccer mom, or really we should just call this Princess Diana. Whenever I really don't know what to wear, I just think, what would Princess Diana do right now? She would throw on some great 501s, a classic sweatshirt, pull out a blazer, throw on some boots, and she'd top it off with a ball cap. Really, there is nothing more classic, amazing, but also so simple than channeling some really great 90s soccer mom vibes courtesy of Princess Diana. I mean, really, you can just look at so many of these inspirational images and just, it's so many things that we all have in our closets, but I think there was something so kind of carefree and effortless about how she would put the looks together. I do think some of the key elements of having that kind of classic 90s ball cap, interesting kind of fun sweatshirts with maybe some nostalgic prints or college or something on the front. And then really, I do think throwing on a great pair of Levi's, you never can go wrong. I love to dress this look up pretty much exactly how Princess Diana does it, but sometimes instead of a cowboy boot, I will throw in a loafer and a sock just to mix it up a little bit. I mean, she also had that great idea of throwing on biker shorts, pulling out that sweatshirt, the scrunchy socks, the great classic sneaker, and you know, maybe there's a ball cap involved in that one too, and that's a great go-to as well. Right now, I might do more of like a legging pant with a scrunchy sock and a big chunky sneaker. So this one's simple. There's key items here, and I think first it's finding that 90s ball cap. And there's something really great about the 90s shape. There's almost like this little peak at the top. A lot of them have like a stiff board there in the front that keeps their shape. I borrow from my husband some of his great classic old ball caps that he's had for 25 plus years. Maybe they're actually from the 90s. So I will borrow from him every now and then. And actually, just on another little note, whenever I find out what teams my sons are on for sports, I actually go and look for a 90s version of their team. So like 90s Giants ball caps or whatever. It's just kind of fun. So looking for those great classic ball caps is a key item for sure. Next, you want to have just some classic Levi 501s. If you're wanting more info on this, Annette from Vintage Splendor does such an amazing job of breaking down 501 denim and just Levi's in generals and different styles and how they're gonna look on you. So you can go to her website, vintagesplendor.com. I'll put it right here. And also, I think there might be some like videos in the works too. So stay tuned for what Annette has to share on Levi's. I have a few that I always go to, and really I feel like once you find just, you know, one or two pair that are perfect and kind of tick the box for you, you're good until they maybe fall apart, but then you can always get them patched. Another key item is having that great boot in the mix. For me, I actually use the campus boot, the Fry campus boot, but really any kind of boot that you feel really comfortable in, that feel practical, but also are gonna look really great over a pair of denim. And then you definitely need a tennis shoe in the mix. I just got these Adidas ones over the holidays and I really like them. I like that they have some fun pops of color in them, but then they also kind of have that classic army green in them as well. So that's kind of been my go-to sneaker. And you have to have some great novelty sweatshirts and some great blazers. So I feel like you all probably have those, but if you need to, you can always head up a thrift store to look for a blazer. I mean, really, you should just go to the thrift stores for blazers. There's really no need to go anywhere else because you can find so many amazing ones. Literally just go down the aisle and try some on and find more of that kind of a little bit oversized, definitely a very classic shape, nothing too stylized, and give yourself maybe a few different color options to play with. I think she looks great in like some navy ones. I have like a tweedy one that I really like. And for a sweatshirt, really looking online is a great option. So I love more of a white sweatshirt with a big graphic on it, or maybe a heather gray. I definitely love when there's like a collegiate feel to them, or some kind of, what am I talking about? Like there's like a lion and gargoyles. I don't know what I'm saying, but like a very college old classic college sweatshirt. So the Comfort Zone formula there is a boot, a Levi, a sweatshirt, a blazer, a ball cap. The easiest, most simple, but amazing outfit you can put together. And now I'm gonna head into the dress up closet and put together my 90s soccer mom, courtesy of Princess Diana. For the 90s soccer mom, we got to start with one of the key items, which I've got on, 90s Giants, San Francisco Giants ball cap. So perfectly Princess Diana. And I've got to get out the other key item, which to me right now is the sweatshirt. Feels like Princess Diana might even have this. This is from Cardiff, Wales. I love a white 90s sweatshirt. It's so perfect. I like this big graphic here on the front, and I've got to pull out some Levi's and go from there. And just to give you a little tip on this, so I have the 551, which fits more like the mom jean, and then the 501 is more of a classic, of course, Levi 501, you know, more of that men's style. These kind of have a Western worn-in feel. These are more full-on 90s mode. I don't know, I'm kind of leaning towards these ones. I'm gonna put them on. I went 551, because you know what? I'm doing 90s soccer mom. These are the most classic of those. These are the sneakers I was talking about. I love these, and I think this could be really cute with this look. I also sometimes go to a loafer style shoe. I love these because of the big gold chain. They feel very like British. So I don't know. I'm leaning towards trying both and seeing which one. Adidas, loafer. I'm gonna go with the loafer. I feel like that feels more Princess Diana to me. For the layer, I have to go make it better with a blazer. Taking notes from Princess Diana. I like this tweedy one that kind of has more of a oversized, longer length to it. And I think I would just make a note that probably to keep true to the look would actually be adding boots, but just because I added boots to the last one, I want to mix it up. So I'm taking notes from like her more ladylike denim looks with the loafers, and then her more field style looks with the boots, and I'm going with a mashup. And then this is just something I've kind of been doing, which I also feel like is a 90s thing, where you pull your hair up into your hat, like in a sloppy little moment there, you know, like this. It's so cute. This is like a go-to for me when I don't feel like doing my hair. And then it even feels like Princess Di because she had short hair. So you can even just kind of pull it out a little bit. But you don't even put it up. You just roll it and tuck it up into your hat. And I feel like that just creates like an effortless, fun look. Like I said, it really is just, you know, a formulaic, perfect outfit for full-on casual mode, but you still look so put together and fun. So thank you, Princess Diana, for this inspiration. From the bottom to the top, 90s soccer mom checking in. All right, so that is dressing in the comfort zone, keeping it casual and cool and effortless and easy. Formulas that just make it simple for when you just want to be dressed down but still dressed up. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. You can subscribe to my channel. I have new videos every single Thursday at 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And finally, always play dress up. Bye!